Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share it with your friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Lena, Gloria, for always joining me right from the start. Thank you so much. Uh, so the first small bit of news that I'd like to say is that Priyanka Singh, that is Sushant Singh's sister, tweeted that if the premium investigating agency of the country cannot crack a high celebrity case in over a year, then what chance does a commoner stand? I wonder. Let's put up the ante. Let's up the ante for Justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. And she addresses it to Modi ji, PMO, Amit Shah, HMO, and Nupur Prasad of CBI. Now, all of us, what we have, responded to her is that why are you sitting quiet? Why don't you approach the Supreme Court? This is something that she, as a lawyer, should know. The Supreme Court can pull up the CBI, and please don't think that we are sitting quiet, Priyanka. All of us have sent letters to not only the Prime Minister but also the Supreme Court judge. You're only talking about this now. You need to you and your sisters need to approach the Supreme Court. This is something you can easily do, and you know that as a lawyer. Okay, moving to the first piece of news. SP leader Azam Khan, who is in jail in fake birth certificate case to contest UP assembly elections from Rampur seat. Azam Khan's Abdullah Azam, who was released from Sitapur jail last week, will also be fighting the assembly polls on an SP ticket. Azam Khan is reportedly selected as a SP candidate from the district assembly seat, while his son Abdullah Azam will contest from Swar Tanda, which is Suar. Samajwadi Party heavyweight Azam Khan, who's been lodged in jail since February 2020 in connection with a fake birth certificate case, will be reportedly fighting the upcoming UP assembly elections from the Rampur seat. Rampur is a stronghold of the SP party, especially Azam Khan, who has been elected 9 times from the said constituency. In 2017, when BJP swept UP, Khan had managed to retain his Rampur seat by defeating Shiv Bahadur Saxena of BJP by 47,000 votes. Khan's son, Abdullah Azam, too, had won the assembly elections in 2017 from the Swar Tanda or Suar seat, but his election was deemed invalid by the Allahabad High Court on the grounds that he was underage to fight the 2017 assembly polls. The father-son duo approached the Supreme Court, but they got no reprieve from the apex court, which upheld the High Court's decision. It is worth noting that Abdullah Azam was released from Sitapur jail on Saturday last week. Khan has 43 cases lodged against him in Rampur and had got release orders in all the cases. Azam Khan, and another thing that should be noted is that Khan had landed in a major land grabbing case after irregularities and allegations against his family, Muhammad Ali Jauhar University, surfaced in 2019. The university was raided by Rampur police following a complaint by the principal of Madrasa Aliyah, wherein he stated that 9,000 books and rare manuscripts from the madrasa have been stolen. It was first land grabbing, then lion statues, followed by books and valuable manuscripts. He had also been booked for stealing buffaloes, and later the Rampur MP was also booked for electricity theft. So there's nothing, it seems, he has left. The power supply to Azam Khan's resort, Humsafar in UP, was cut off after raids were conducted in the resort by the UP Electricity Department. Besides, several other cases are also lodged against the SP leader Azam Khan. In September 2019, Rampur police in UP had booked him on allegations of stealing goats, following the complaint which was filed in October 2016. Khan's son, Abdul Azam, who was released from Sitapur jail last week, will also be fighting the assembly polls on an SP ticket. Azam Khan is reportedly selected as the SP candidate from the district assembly seat, while his son Abdullah Azam will contest from Swar Tanda, which is Suar. Now, friends, you should note that with so many, such a criminal background behind these people. These are not the people you should be voting for. You need someone clean like Yogi Ji. Look at the background of these people. It's absolutely terrifying. Yeah, back to you, Jenny.
Yeah, so coming to the next piece of news is that a Mumbai court on Tuesday rejected the bail plea of Anil Deshmukh in the money laundering case. Now, a special judge under the PMLA, which is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, R.N. Rokade, pronounced the order. Now, in the plea filed through Aniket Nikam, Deshmukh had stated that since no cognizance was taken by the special court of the charge sheet within the statutory period of 60 days, as prescribed under Section 167 of the CPC, he was entitled to statutory bail. Now, Deshmukh's counsel, senior advocate Vikram Chaudhary, had argued that excluding the date of the first remand, a period of 60 days had elapsed and the statutory embargo was created on any further custody as per Section 167. Now, Chowdhury claimed that ED had extended Deshmukh's judicial remand on December 27th till January 9th without disclosing the above fact, which he added was non-est in law. Meanwhile, the ED, in its reply through advocate Sriram Shirsat, the ED had stated that the statutory bail cannot be considered by the court once a charge sheet or a supplementary charge sheet has been filed. Now, Additional Solicitor General Anil Sikh apprised the court that the supplementary charge sheet against Deshmukh had been filed on December 29th, which was within the 60-day period when counted from the date of arrest. Now, the question of cognizance is irrelevant and for ascertaining right of default bail since Section 167 only pertains to completion of investigation within the stipulated time. He had contended. Deshmukh had been in judicial custody since November 15th in connection with the probe initiated by the ED after the CBI filed a FIR following a court-directed inquiry into the allegations of corruption and misuse of his official position. Simultaneously, Deshmukh had challenged a summons before the Bombay High Court, which dismissed his petition while directing him to take appropriate steps to approach the court for anticipatory bail. Now, the former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh appeared before ED officials on Monday, November 1st. Now, after interrogation for about 12 hours, he was arrested post midnight, as you know, and the Mumbai court then allowed ED custody of Deshmukh till November 6th. Now, a sessions court then turned down the ED's plea for extension of custody and he was remanded to judicial custody of 14 days. The order was set aside by Bombay High Court in a special Sunday sitting after ED challenged the same. The High Court then remanded Deshmukh to ED custody till November 12th, which was extended till November 15th. Now, after that, the NCP leader was sent to judicial custody where he remains till date. So this is the latest with regards to Anil Deshmukh, and I do hope that some sort of information comes out from his arrest, hopefully, with regards to the SSR case.
Yeah, absolutely. In the Bulli Bai case, Mumbai court to pronounce order on bail pleas by three accused on January 20th. The Metropolitan Magistrate at Bandra completed hearings on the bail pleas of the three accused, Vishal Jha, Shweta Singh, and Mayank Rawat, and will pronounce his order on Thursday. A Mumbai court will pronounce its verdict on the bail plea filed by the three accused in the Bulli Bai case on January 20, 2022. After hearing the arguments of the accused and the prosecution for 2 days, Metropolitan Magistrate Komal Singh Rajput reserved the bail pleas for orders today. The case was triggered by an app called Bulli Bai, which appeared on open source platform GitHub, putting out details of more than 100 Muslim women, allowing users to participate in an auction of those women. Complaints were filed by women who had been targeted by the app, after which the cyber cell of the Mumbai police registered an FIR on January 1st against relevant Twitter handles and the developer of Bulli Bai for offences under the Indian Penal Code and the Information Technology Act. The three accused Bangalore students, Vishal Jha and Uttarakhand residents Shweta Singh and Mayank Rawat, pointed out in their petitions that they had been falsely implicated in the case as they had not committed any offence. They also claimed that they had not created any mobile applications, nor were they connected to the other accused in the case. It was contended that they had submitted all electronic devices for the investigation, and they were cooperating with the probe and were in no position to tamper with the evidence. It was also pointed out that the two accused, Shah and Rawat, had tested COVID positive and were presently in Kalina quarantine center. Advocate Shivam Deshmukh, arguing for 21-year-old Vishal Jha, stated that the prosecution failed to make out a case on the allegation that the account at Khalsa had been used to malign the image of the complainant or any other women. He also pointed out that he had no criminal antecedents and highlighted that the offences alleged against him were punishable with less than 3 years of sentence. Meanwhile, advocate Sandeep Sherkhane for Rawat argued that his client did not have any criminal antecedent and did not make any act nor posted anything against any community. He also informed the court that Rawat had just followed a link that was forwarded to him on social media. The Mumbai police opposed the application, stressing on the fact that the custody of the accused was required for further in depth probe into the case. Their reply highlighted that the accused had intentionally used Sikh names on their Twitter and other social media handles to create enmity between Sikhs and Muslims. And they also were in touch with Bulli Bai case accused, due to which they had deleted various social media accounts belonging to them. Back to you, Jay.
Yeah, and I also feel that the three accused in this Bulli Bai case, their financial transactions should be tracked by ED. So we'll get an idea as to where the source of funding is coming from.
Yeah,
Is it coming from the toolkit, which is going to cause some sort of communal disharmony in India?
yeah,
Now, coming to the next piece of news is that legendary Kathak dancer Pandit Birju Maharaj passes away at the age of 83 in Delhi. And for those of you who do not know, Sri Pandit Birju Maharaj is the doyen of the Lucknow Gharana of Kathak, the dance art form, who died at his home in Delhi in the early hours of Monday. He would have been 84 next month. Now, Maharaj ji, as he is popularly known, died surrounded by his family and disciples. They were playing Antakshari after dinner when he suddenly took ill. Ragini Maharaj told the news media, the Kathak exponent, one of India's best known artists, had been suffering from kidney ailment and was under dialysis. Now, he probably died out of cardiac arrest. We took him to the hospital immediately, but we could not save him, she said. A recipient of the country's second highest civilian award, which is the Padma Vibhushan, he was born Brij Mohan Nath Mishra on February 4th, 1937, in a well known Kathak dancing family. The news comes just days after his nephew and disciple, Pandit Munna Shukla, passed away following a brief illness. Now, last year, a book on his life titled Nitya Samrat Pandit Birju Maharaj was launched. The book is a compilation of 96, that is 22 in English and 17 in Hindi short essays written by his disciples, associates, admirers, and senior artists and well-wishers from around the world. It has been put together by Nand Kishore Kapote, who is a senior disciple of Sri Birju Maharaj. In his foreword, the veteran dancer guru had said that the book is a delightful read since it contains many interesting anecdotes from his long journey in dance along with rare photographs. Now, the book reveals the extraordinary personality of Pandit Birju Maharaj. The prime disciple Sashwati Sen speaks about his teaching style, while Janaki Patrik talks about how Maharaj not only gives attention to postures and movements, but every little detail. Mamta Maharaj, the first female dancer from the Kalka Binadin family, shares that he created productions that have enabled female performers to receive the same recognition as their male counterparts. Now, an interesting piece of news is that the famous Tamil actor Kamal Hassan is sort of heartbroken after hearing the demise of Pandit Birju Maharaj, and he this is what he said: we have lost a peerless dancer like Pandit Birju Maharaj. For several years, I have learned from him from a distance like Ekalavya. Then I got to learn from him in person for the film Vishwarubam. Without your insight, I'm not who I am. This is what Kamala Hassan tweeted with regards to Sri Pandit Birju Maharaj passing away.
Yeah. So it's a very big loss because see, Kathak is not an easy dance. It is something that they master over years, and I've seen the kind of expertise they need to have, in their feet,
Yes.
and hand movements, the swirls. It's a very difficult dance to sort of conquer, and he did it with ease. Okay. Moving back to security alert indicates that there's a terror plot, a threat to Prime Minister Modi on Republic Day. A 9-page intelligence input has indicated that there was a threat to PM Modi and other dignitaries who would be present at the Republic Day celebrations. Intelligence agencies have received an alert about a possible terror plot on Republic Day that threatens the lives of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other dignitaries. The 9-page intelligence input, a copy of which was accessed by media, indicated that there was a threat to PM Modi and other dignitaries who would be present at India's 75th Republic Day celebrations. Leaders from 5 Central Asian countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, are likely to be invited as chief guests. The note mentioned that the threat had come from groups based out of the Pakistan region. These groups aim to target highly placed dignitaries and sabotage, disrupt public gatherings, crucial establishments, and crowded places. The attacks could be attempted using drones as well. The input said terror groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba, the resistance group Jaish-e-Mohammed, Harkat-ul-Mujahideen, and Hizbul Mujahideen were behind the terror threat. The input said that the Khalistani groups based in Pakistan are also mobilizing cadres to regroup and revive militancy in Punjab. They also plan targeted attacks in Punjab and other states. According to an input received in February 2021, Khalistani terror groups are planning to attack Prime Minister's meeting and tour venues as well. So this is something that is becoming very, very apparent in the coming days. See, the last one seems to have been a test run. There are so many people who are enemies of India and are targeting our Prime Minister and Hindus. It's not only the Prime Minister, it's also the Hindus. And this is becoming even more, one has to be even more careful than before.
I mean,
Yeah,
like Ajit Doval has a very huge job ahead of him,
yes, yes,
and it's like I do remember like many attempts on former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi.
yeah,
Like when there were so many assassination attempts on Rajiv Gandhi.
yeah,
So it is very important that Prime Minister Modi ji's security team takes all precautions,
yeah,
gather all the intelligence before heading to any public ceremony or speech or like the Republic Day. They should take extra precautions with regards to security, intelligence, and everything.
yeah. So also, friends, I think we have hit the 30,000 subscribers, today. So thank you. It's only because of all of you that we could make it possible. I don't know how to thank you because see we have such a dedicated audience in you, and the kind of suggestions and comments that you give has only made us improve ourselves. So a big thank you to all of you from Jaydev and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So back to the next piece of news, which is Dileep, the actor, targets reporter TV's Nikesh Kumar and wants reporting on his case barred on all media. Justice Kaushal Edapagat has asked the DGP to look into the allegations made by Dileep. Actor Dileep's petition asking for a gag order on the media from reporting anything related to the female actor's sexual assault case came up for hearing in the Kerala High Court on Tuesday, January 18th. Justice Kausar Edagapat has asked the state police chief to respond to Dileep's allegation that an earlier gag order given by the trial court on March 19, 2020 was being violated by the media. The judge added that Dileep's contention cannot be brushed aside, and if true, appropriate action should be initiated. Dileep's petition targets 2 people in particular: editor in chief of Reporter TV, Nikesh Kumar, and investigating officer of the case, Baiju Paulos. It was a reporter TV that first aired an interview with Balatandar, a man who has leveled allegations that Dileep knew the accused Pulsar Suni well and that he had a copy of the visuals of the sexual assault. The petition says that Nikesh dons the role of an investigating agency, prosecutor, and adjudicator and of the case and alleges that he's sponsored by the second respondent, that is Baiju Paulos. The petition further alleges that Nikesh's acts are deliberately targeted to lower the integrity and dignity of the court and trial. Such willful and continued contemptuous and illegal acts has to be brought to an end in the interest of administration of justice and in ensuring fair trial, the petition said. Dileep also alleges through his petition that Balachandra Kumar was propped up by Baiju Paulos to appear on Reporter TV. Balachandra Kumar has, however, consistently maintained that he approached two other channels before going to Reporter TV, and though one channel recorded his interview, they refrained from publishing it. The petition asks for a stop on all coverage related to the case on all media platforms till the verdict is pronounced. Dileep wants coverage of matters relating to the accused and witnesses persons likely to be called as witnesses and the investigating team to be stopped till the conclusion of the trial. It is to be noted that Dileep was has accused the media of violating the gag order issued by Judge Hani Varghese on March 19, 2020. The order, however, barred the media from covering all aspects of the case, except matters permitted under Nipun Saxena versus Union of India 2019. The Nipun Saxena case had asked for privacy of survivors and victims to be maintained. The guidelines later made by the court based on this case also focused on protecting victims in such cases. So here, funny thing is, viewers, that these people commit the crime, whatever they do, and then they want immunity as well. It is so, the case itself is so shocking, that a girl is, raped, gang raped in a moving car, and that too, when she returns from a shooting. So, what is the kind of confidence that you're giving girls in Kerala, actresses in Kerala who travel alone? And on top of this, all this, this guy wants to be protected as well. It's just like Bishop Franco being let free. All these people should have strict guidelines that they cannot open their mouth. Democracy means you can speak out, and you can speak out the truth. We don't need people like Dileep and Bishop Franco telling us what to do. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, I mean, like they are trying to gag the media because they are afraid that the things will come out. There are so many
Absolutely.
skeletons in the closet.
Yeah,
As far as the movie and political connect is concerned in Kerala,
yeah,
so they're afraid that everything will come out in
absolutely.
the open.
Yeah. It's just like I think Salman Khan has also sued, one of the YouTubers for, reporting on a person called, I forget the name, Jere, Kakkad.
Yeah,
Kakkad's,
Ketan Kakkad.
case. Yes. Back to you.
Now, coming to the next piece of news is Anurag Kashyap dismisses rumors of Sacred Games 3, calls out scamster for fake casting. Now, actually, Anurag Kashyap took to Instagram and shared a screen grab of a fake casting call by a user named Rajbir_casting. The director wrote that it was a scam and that there is no season 3 of the Sacred Games. His post read, "This man Rajbir under casting is a scamster. Please report him. There is no season 3 of the Sacred Games happening. I'm filing an FIR against this person." So I think this is just a publicity stunt so that, like people out of curiosity, they go and check out Sacred Games.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next piece of news. Cancel board Pariksha trends on social media. Will CBSE cancel the term 2 board exams? Students have started to make cancel board Pariksha trend on Twitter, demanding the cancellation of CBSE term 2 board exams. In the middle of rising COVID-19 cases, several state governments have directed the closure of schools, colleges, and many offices. Amid the tense situation, an important question looms over the students of classes 10 and 12. Will CBSE cancel or postpone the Term 2 board exams? Thousands of students are raising their voices on Twitter by using Cancel Board Pariksha, making the hashtag trend. From the current academic year, CBSE, along with several other boards, decided to divide the board exams into two terms. The Term 1 board exams were held in the months of November, December, and on December 22. CBSE concluded them. Since then, students have been eagerly waiting for the CBSE Term 1 results, but there are no updates on that. Several reports suggest that the board will declare the Class 10 and 12 term results anytime now. However, CBSE has not released any official notification regarding the result date. If we go with the earlier mentioned schedule, CBSE will conduct the 10 2 board exams in the month of March and April. In total, only 2 months are left for the students to prepare for the exams. Amid the rising COVID-19 cases across India, schools have been closed for physical classes and only online classes are taking place as per the schedule. But we are familiar with the situation of online classes, which puts many students at a disadvantage. While many students can afford a phone or a tablet and a laptop with good internet conditions, many are not able to get them. Also, with increasing COVID-19 cases, many students are also at risk of getting infected with the virus. Keeping these concerns in mind, students have taken over Twitter demanding the cancellation of the upcoming CBSE Term 2 board exams. Recently, the CBSE released sample papers along with marking schemes for the upcoming Term 2 board exams. This can be taken as an indirect indication that the board will proceed with the Term 2 board exams. Further, as per reports, medical experts are saying that right now COVID-19 cases are in control and the vaccination drive for the 15 to 18 years of age group is also going on at full pace. Therefore, we can expect CBSE to move forward with the Term 2 board exams. Will CBSE cancel the Term 2 board exams or move forward with them depending on the near future COVID-19 situation only? Therefore, students are requested to keep a regular check on the official website of CBSE for updates regarding the Term 2 date sheets and the Term 1 results. The website is cbse.nic.in. Yeah, back to you, Jay.
Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news is that in Tamil Nadu, devotees have been denied entry to Palani temple on Thai Poosam festival. Malaysia and Singapore allow temple entry with COVID protocols. Now, Thai Poosam is an important festival of the Tamil community, and it is observed with much fanfare in countries such as India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Mauritius, and Singapore. Now, in Malaysia, the Hindus were allowed to visit Sri Subramaniam Swami temple in the famous Batu caves according to COVID protocols, and some preventive measures were taken. Now, Thaipusam is one of the important Hindu festivals celebrated by the Tamil community across the globe, was a low-key affair this year in India, as Tamil Nadu government has decided to shut down the temple for devotees. Now, citing the threat of rising COVID-19 cases in the state, the Tamil Nadu government had declared that devotees would not be allowed to visit the Palani Arulmigu Ganda Yuthapani temple from January 14 to 18 during the Thaipusam festival. In Tamil Nadu, Thaipusam is celebrated at the Palani Arulmigu Danda Yuthapani temple over a period of 10 days, also known as Brahmotsava. Providing an alternative option to the devotees, the government had said that the devotees would witness the ceremonies and rituals through the temple website or its YouTube channels. Now, Thaipusam is an important festival, as you know, and according to local media reports, the devotees this morning rushed to the temple eager to fulfill their vows and offer prayers on the occasion of this festival. Now, the authorities at Batu Caves, which is in Malaysia, had issued an SOP earlier that said that they would provide devotees with a duration and would allow them inside the temple only after scanning the temperature and oxygen level. Now, the authorities accordingly allowed only 500 people to the temple ground at a time to ensure physical distancing and avoid crowding. Now, the Singapore government, meanwhile, permitted only the vaccinated devotees to participate in any of the Thaipusam related proceedings. It has denied permission of foot procession in Sri Tendayuthapani temple and said that only milk pot offerings from the temple can be used. Now, the Hindu Endowment Board in Singapore has also banned gatherings in and around the temple and is allowing devotees with pre-booked time slots to enter the temple. Now, the festival is celebrated in the month of Poosam with the upcoming full moon. And according to the reports, the festival is dedicated to Lord Murugan, who is believed to possess the invincible spear or veil. It is also celebrated as a Thanksgiving ceremony to Lord Murugan and signifies the victory of good over evil. So, this is with the latest with regards to this festival.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the Delhi High Court grants bail to Tahir, Shahrukh, Faisal, and three others who had brutally murdered Dilbar Negi during anti Hindu riots. On January 18th, the Delhi High Court granted bail to six persons named Muhammad Tahir Shahrukh, Mohammad Faisal, Mohammad Shoaib, Rashid, and Parvez in the Gokul Puri murder case related to the Delhi riots of February 2020. The bail was granted by Justice Subramaniam Prasad. The six were accused of vandalism and setting Anil Sweet Corner on fire, resulting in the death of 22-year-old Dilbar Negi. Advocate Amit Mahajan appeared for the Delhi police, had vehemently opposed the grant of bail. Dilbar Negi's hands and feet were chopped off by the riot of rioters. Negi, who was working in the sweet shop, had come to Delhi looking for a job from his native state, Uttarakhand, just 6 months before the incident. Dilbar Negi's hands and feet were chopped off by the mob of rioters. Negi, who was working in the sweet shop, had come to Delhi looking for a job from his native state, Uttarakhand, just 6 months before the incident. As per the police report, rioters pelted stones and set several shops on fire on February 24 near Shiv Vihar, Tiraha. 2 days after the riots, a mutilated and torched dead body was found in the said sweet shop that was one of the shops burned down by the rioters. The dead body was unrecognizable at that time when it was found. Later, the deceased was identified as 22-year-old Dilbar Singh Negi, who was one of the employees of the sweet shop. An FIR was registered by the police under the FIR under the section 147, punishment for writing, 148, writing armed with a deadly weapon, 149, unlawful assembly, 302, murder, 201, causing disappearance of evidence, 436, mischief by fire, and 427, mischief causing damage of the Indian Penal Code against the accused at Gokul Puri police station. The case was later transferred to SIT of Crime Branch. A charge sheet was filed on June 2020. The 12 people named as accused by the investigation agencies in the case. The public eyewitnesses stated in their statements that the rioters pelted stones, chanted anti-Hindu slogans, and torched several shops and houses. They also mentioned that the rioters entered a building and killed the deceased, who was hiding in the building. His body was burnt along with the building. So now, friends, if you look at what the terrible crime that they have committed, these people, you look at the names again: Mohammad Tahir, Shahrukh, Mohammad Faisal, Mohammad Shoaib, Rashid, and Parvez in the Gokul Puri murder, and you feel shocked that how can the High Court give them bail? But then, if you look at what is happening nowadays, whether it is Bishop Franco, who had allegedly gang raped the nuns, and the bail of Azam Khan, and now what's happening in the Dileep's case also, all this seems, normal for us. A man, a young boy, whose hands and feet have been chopped off. Is that a case where you allow these people to get bail? I don't know what's happening to India and what is happening to the judiciary system. Yeah. So I think that's all the news for now. So let us just take some of your comments as well. And I'll also leave the lines open so that if you'd like to join us, friends, please do join us. Yes. So I'm just leaving the line open, and in case you'd like to join us, please do. This is the link. Karthik says, Stalin and his followers will rebuild all the temples they demolished. Karma will not leave them. Yes. Chandrika, the Hindus of Tamil Nadu should unitedly fight against this with the support of Sadhguru. Bardhan says he sounds like a very shady character. There were so many blind items about him. Like they say, there's no smoke without fire. These movie stars have their own value system and form this tight group which cannot be broken. They need each other because they have no other life. Can't bear to hear or see the demolition of ancient, beautiful temples. True Indian says, why attack on Hindus everywhere, using all strategies across India? Karthik. Dhanush, though talented, is very lucky to have got all the right hype around him. Such Suchi even accused Anirudh, the music director who made Kolavari D of molestation. Now here, Karthik, I'd like to just say that, see, if Dhanush has got any importance or he is good in films or known in films, it's only thanks to Rajnikant, because he blindly copies Rajnikant. Every style of his, even the way he walks, the way he talks, it's exactly Rajnikant. And also, it is a fact that, see, many of them say that his character is also not so good. So the reasons for the divorce, see, it's been happening for a lot of months. The rift between the couple, and I wouldn't be surprised if it had happened much earlier. Yeah, going back to other. Chandrika says Sadhguru and his Isha Foundation is based in Tamil Nadu. That is, I think, Coimbatore. Why can't he, alongside his huge margin of supporters, do something to stop the demolition of temples in Tamil Nadu? Yes.
I would like to add to Chandrika's statement, not only Sri Sadhguruji, I would like to, I think Sri Ravi Shankar ji also and should join along with Sadhguru ji to sort of voice their strong opinion against the demolition of Hindu temples.
Yeah, absolutely. Maya says, has Yatyanand ji granted bail? Kalicharan Maharaj has an FIR filed by Maharashtra government in Pune. Not sure about that. True Indian. All online PROs create ruckus nowadays in all channels. Shame on them. Dhanush is a person of questionable character. Yes, do check out an old article about him when a prominent singer, Suchitra, known as Suchi, accused him and few others. Yes, exactly. This is exactly what I was speaking about, his character. Sadhguru has tried to intervene and they cast aspersions on him and threatened his foundation, Chitra. Yeah, Monali, right. Absolutely right, Jaydev. Shilpa. DMK is supported by the conversion mafia in working towards the attempt to destroy Hinduism. Temple demolition is just a way, yes, they think it will happen. But then the Me Too movement somehow did not get much importance in India like it did in the West, yes. In London, Sadhguruji is already fighting for the 14,000 temples which are currently crumbling. Hasn't the CJ who has to probe PM security breach also got a threat like the SC lawyers? Retired SC judge Indu Malhotra. Yes. Sadhguru has tried to intervene and they cast aspersions on him and threatened his foundation. Yes, Chitra, that is also happening. With yesterday's session on black magic, I came across the video of Devi Kavacham by Bhanu of AOL with beautiful visuals and meanings. Members had expressed how to protect themselves. This Kavacham is very powerful. Yes, thank you, Maya. In fact, what I'd like to tell all our friends is that we got a lot of response for Mayu's session yesterday, and many of you said that, see, it was really very interesting, and also, sort of clarified a lot of the doubts they had. But the latest article says that Dhanush is a workaholic and like Ritik. Yeah, that's your PR at work, Badhan. The government bringing down temples, absolutely. Stalin is his usual self. Yes, Karthik Bhagwan is very much popular in TN, just like Ganesh ji here. Stalin is the Aurangzeb reincarnation, yes. Jayanti, he was a number one flirt. Chitra. Rajni's whole family has let him down. He has no voice. Lata controls everything, and his family has been living off him. Very sad. So, this is another point of view that is being presented by Chitra. So, perhaps she knows something more. But then, with Shruti Hassan too, they say that's his affair. Really, Dhanush, an SIL, was he a flirt? Okay. Savitri, I exactly don't remember, but I was very moved much. Soundarya is already married and mother of a child with her new husband. Towards the end, did you feel that Lord Shiva and uh, DKDM was turning social? Was this done in purpose? Now, she's talking about a film, Dev Mahadev, I think. There was a blind item that Dhanush was heavily into his Sali, which means sister in law. How come women still get attracted to such horrible human beings like Dileep or Salman? Shilpa. What has happened to all the filmmakers? Series on Jia Khan has been released on BBC. Sajid Khan episode asking for favor. A predominantly matriarchal system, society, so many crimes against women in Kerala. What an irony. Has anyone seen Devon Ka Dev Mahadev? That's the movie. I think you were talking about Jayanti. Coming back to this question of yours, Karthik, a predominantly matriarchal society. So many crimes against women in Kerala. What an irony. Now, here, Karthik, I'd like to tell you the Kerala that you see now is very different from the Kerala that was in the past. Because I remember, if you look at my, maternal side of my family, my grandfather was a very great novelist, and all his daughters, he had, five children and, four daughters and a son. And all the daughters, they were working. Like they were headmistresses, and teachers, and all of them very, very, sort of assertive. They didn't take any nonsense. And that's the kind of women you would find in that generation and the next generation. But now what's happening is with the coming of communalism, communism and jihadism in Kerala, things have completely changed. There is a sort of fear in the state. You wouldn't want to live in that state because there's too much of crime happening. So in such circumstances, it'll remind you of Russia, in the past when you are under Stalin, or Lenin. So it's the same thing happening in Kerala now. Pinarayi is not a chief minister who has absolutely any ethics. You know, he's a. They say that he's a cursed man. In fact, yesterday I was listening to Kerala news, and they were saying that Pinarayi is brings bad luck wherever he goes. Recently, he went to America, like a few days back, and he took an IAS officer, as an attendant. Can you imagine? Not a servant, but he took an IAS officer as an attendant. Is it to give him tea or to hold him when he goes to the bathroom? That's what they say. And then what happened was the moment he landed in USA, there was a tsunami. You know, so they say that this man brings bad luck wherever he goes. You look at the state of Kerala, everything that's been happening continuously, right from the Sabrimala incident. This man has brought only bad luck, floods, the spate of killings. Look at the spate of smuggling, and you look at the spate of killings. Which chief minister can rule, do all this and then say that he is still the chief minister? A leader's job is to protect a state. Look at the way Yogi ji is doing it, or Sharma of Assam. Look at the way they are ruling. Every day they are bringing progress into the state. Even Bombay of Karnataka is doing a wonderful job. What are the things that Pinarayi is doing? So, Karthik, coming back to your question, is that we are talking about present Kerala. The moment Dileep came into the film industry, everybody said that he was working like a don. Even Mohanlal and Mammootty were supposed to be scared of him. And do you know what he was? He was just a laborer. He used to dig mud. Okay? And he came in as a mimicry artist and later rose to the power of a film don. And why I believe what a lot of the media in Kerala are saying is because one of the best actors, his name was Tilakan, he said that he was pushed out of the industry. If you look at Tilakan's action, it is on par with Hollywood actors. He was barred from films and he died a very sad man. And he said, these are the people that you have to be scared of, people like Dileep. And you look at the interviews that recent people have been giving. He has a gun, and he has people who goons, what you call bouncers. So people are scared to speak. Out of so many witnesses who were there, about 20 witnesses, backed out. Why? Because they're threatened. In such a state, Karthik, there's no, you can't call it a matriarchal system or anything. Very sad state. Gattabut stars visits the Shakti Peeths of the Devis and Devtas, and yet on screen they insult them. You're talking about all these people. Ajay Devgan, he's gone to the temple. Shilpa Shetty, after all those pornographic films that they make, insulting women. It's very true. Hinaji, did you see the SSR Sister Streets? It's so ridiculous when they can easily question. See, that's what I started with, Monali. I started it with that. Priyanka says that, see, now it's such a shame that these, the CBI is keeping quiet for the past 1 year and so. So what are the sisters doing? It's the sisters' job. See, a lawyer, advocate Vivekanand has been very clearly saying, if they approach the Supreme Court, surely the CBI will be pulled up. But they're not doing it. And Priyanka is a lawyer, so she knows the rules. Why they're not doing it, I mean, is something we don't understand. There is a massive smear campaign against Sadhguru, and he's fighting it, just like they did for, yes, absolutely. Because, the advantage with the, Sadhguru is that he's not scared of anybody. And also the fact that, see, when he speaks, he's very concise. You have questions, he's very precise. And he speaks in such clear language that you understand everything. If you need to, if you go through his YouTube videos, you'll understand that, many questions that we keep asking ourselves is answered in such a simple manner by Sadhguru, But then, Karthik, it's not only these two Swamijis, it's also many people, Look at Asaram. Why the hell is he in jail? When the victim herself said that nothing has happened. What happened to Ramdev Baba? Why was the Sonia Gandhi government trying to catch him? He has a huge, huge company, and they're making so much of money, and they're selling goods at 1/3 the price of other pharma companies. So, Karthik, the fight is against Hindus and our gurus and our temples, and it's very important that we do not sit quiet. We need to fight. And every time, see, what I do in our sessions is that whatever injustice is being done, I keep bringing it up because it's important that all of you also raise your voices wherever, social media, Twitter, Instagram. It's very important. And also, like what Mayur said yesterday, which I'm very proud of, is that, see, the younger generation have become very spiritually inclined. And he's, so happy that so many youngsters are asking him, whether he can chant mantras for them and where they can learn mantras from. So this is a very positive sign. And today's youngsters are not scared. So, which I'm very glad, So all of us need to come forward and make sure that our voices are heard. Yes, we have to fight for Sanatana Dharma and not fight amongst. Very well said, Jayant. True, West Bengal has become West Bengal. Yes. See, when you know that you have a leader like Mamata Banerjee, see, what has to be done is she's ruling purely through fear. What happens is when you send thugs, to attack you, the poor Bengalis will keep quiet. They don't want trouble. They want to live in peace. They cannot move to any other part of the world. So she is ruling only through blackmailing people and making them scared. So the BJP government at the center has to decide some strategy where this woman has to lose, and that is something you have to do like Chanakya. So that's the only thing I can say. They have to form a strategy where they have to make people like her lose. True, communism has ruined both Kerala, yes, and West Bengal. Chitra, a 100 years ago, the Pope was the most feared man on the planet. He ceased to be a pontiff and became a dictator. Now the scenario is, yes, very different. Gaurav Pradhan is extremely anti-guru but wants to promote. Okay, here, Jayanti, I'd like to be very clear. None of us are well educated on Sanatana Dharma. These gurus are very essential to learn our religion completely. Okay, and not only that, to initiate us, to teach us mantras, lot of things. So if Gaurav Pradhan is saying this, then he's just speaking bullshit. That's all I can say. What about AAP ruining? Yes. This is again, see, something that paid media is doing. So please do not think that this is happening. They are saying, because of the million ads that Kejriwal has been giving everybody from Republic to Times Now and everybody, now is the time that they are going to take it back. Whenever someone gives you money, remember, it has got chains attached to it. All this time they've been given ads, so many ads. And now they're asking for the return. Now the media will have to comply. The media will have to help up. And already it's happening. So please remember, Arvind Kejriwal is the most corrupt person. And yet he's being given importance by media. And the only reason for this is because of the money that he's been investing in ads. Media does not owe any loyalty to the country, to the nation, to the people. Gaurav Pradhan is a turncoat. He says, yes, I've never trusted him and I will never trust him. Gaurav Pradhan speaks basically on Yeti as a plant to divide Hindu votes, yes. Don't forget, Gaurav Pradhan is a friend of Digvijay Singh and claims that Diggi Raja is the proudest Hindu. Such a pathetic joke. See, if on this remark, Karthik, we are saying he's not a joker or he's not a this thing. Digvijay Singh is dangerous. As far as I see it, he's the henchman that Sonia Gandhi uses for everything. Beyond that, you can understand. What Hinduism don't have is Pope, who will bail out their priests to keep dying religion alive. I wonder, as West Bengal was ruined when newborn babies died in government hospitals a few years ago, and Mamata was in power. Not sure how Bengalis see future in Mamata instead of BJP. Wonder anti-forces more in number. It's purely because of True India. It's purely because of fear. True. West Bengal has become West Bengal, yes. West Bengal produced luminaries like Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, but see the plight of West Bengal today. See, this is the same thing, Karthik. If you look at Kerala, we had the best luminaries there. And it was Trivandrum was known as a cradle of culture. Today, look at it. You feel scared to be living there. Shivaji, who played iconic ICP Praduman, is begging for work today. Ujjwal Trivedi put out on his YouTube, Groupism engulfed one more time. Shobha, ma'am, let's talk about SSR movies, his quotes, his interaction with fans, his dreams on 21st fully. That is, we're talking about Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when, JD, exactly? 21st?
21st is on Friday.
Okay, that's the day when I think Safran is joining us. So,
yeah, that'll be the perfect.
Yeah, so we'll discuss this, as you say, Shobha. We'll talk about him and his quotes and his interaction. Yes, definitely. True Indian. Ma'am, I don't think SSR sisters are truly like this. Either they are maligned by social media, just like they maligned SSR. So you remember, True Indian, I remember when, earlier, but just when the SSR died, there was a small report saying that, one of their cars was going to be sort of bombed by, you know, uh, this bully weed. And they also clearly named the person. So what you say is very true. Something may be also behind that. But when you say openly such things like what they're tweeting, that makes absolutely no sense. We are doing, yes, on 21st, Leila. So we will be doing exactly what Shobha also suggested. Let's talk about SSR movies, his quotes, his interaction with fans, his dream on 21st fully. Okay, so we will dedicate that session only for SSR. Chitra, Adi Shankara single-handedly revived Hinduism, and what we know is Hinduism is his gift to India. Well said. Shobha, loved your comment. Perfectly said. Yes. I remember Congress appointing a new Shankaracharya since the existing guru of Puri Math did not know their line. Okay. SSR sister should ask their lawyers by SBI, CBI. No, they should ask Supreme Court. That is the best thing, Chitra. I wonder. Okay, I think that's all for now, friends. So we'll see you tomorrow, and MR Venkatesh will be joining us tomorrow. And please join us. And thank you once again for being a part of our team and making us go stronger and stronger. Good night from Jaydev and me.
Good night.